And welcome to Let's Fly VFR, and yes, we've finally done it, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Okay, we're just gonna have to do it, aren't we? Subscribe, like, and hope you like the video. Today I thought we'd do some of the landing challenges. There's a lot of little bits and pieces hiding within Flight Sim 2020, so let's give this a bash. So, this is a bit of a world competition, and I had a couple of goes at this. We're going to do a few different airports and just have a look at some of the fun that you can have in here, along with, of course, the amazing scenery that we have here at Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Getting pretty good frame rates, pretty happy with how things are going. The last update, which came with the Japanese update, as far as scenery goes, seemed to improve the performance a little bit for me. That could be just hopeful, but it has done so. So the idea here is to land this aeroplane on those blue marks that you see, and I reckon that's about as good as I get. Pretty good. Get the brakes on, and then what happens next is you get to see a score, and you can see your score, and you can see all the smarties that are well and truly above us. So I'm at 5,608. So there's some people that have done a lot better. You can see the different parameters there: landing precision, roll rate, smoothness in your descent rate, and how far it was from it. So let's give it another go, and you can see some of the frame rate information on the left there. Didn't show everything when I pulled it up this time. Not really sure why that is, but isn't the scenery amazing? Gotta say, it does look beautiful. It does have a few issues with brightness that I noticed. So you can see over to the right there, it seems to be washed out. Now I don't know if that's something I've got set wrong, or whether that's, but I've noticed that in a few of the flights that I've done recently. Sometimes it's just blown out by the intensity of the light, but that's okay. You know, I would regard Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 as it at the moment is very much like a beta, a late beta or a pre-release, because there's obviously a lot of things that we're all seeing being found around the world, but it is such a massive task to bring out something as new as this, covering the whole world in the detail that they're attempting to do. So kudos to them for getting out there and giving it a shot, and I know it'll get better as time comes on. I'm just looking forward to the introduction of VR, which is happening at the end of October. It's going into beta. If you happen to be selected for that, you can choose to apply, and if your system is up to specs and they like you and you're lucky, you might get a chance at the beta VR version of it for a little while before it comes out, probably later in the year. I think closer to Christmas is what they're talking about at the moment, but we'll see whether that happens or not. But you're going to need a 1080 Ti and some pretty good specs according to what's on the website. So just maintaining the flight as we come in, conscious that it's at that first set of white lines that you can see is where we need to touch down. Trying to maintain the speed and the descent rate, trying to keep that descent rate as minimal as possible as we're getting close. Now this would be coming in as, I think, a reasonably nice touchdown, but we've got to hold it off that little bit further to make it up to these blue marks. And hold. Just short. Just short. Never mind. That wasn't as good as the first one. I think that's probably the best one I'm going to get all day. Still getting used to a lot of stuff with this Microsoft Flight Simulator, especially the views. I haven't really sussed those out as yet, and looking for like external views and things like that. I know they're there, but it's taken a bit of time for me to suss that all out. See, that was pretty poor. There's 15,645 in the known universe. So got some work to do there. So let's try something a little bit more. St. Barts. Everybody has probably come out and had a go at this one. And this is in the TBM, so we need to fly down and around and just keep to the right of those islands as we fly in. And I thought we'll fly in and we'll look at the reflections off the sea, and all of that comes with it. And we're flying over the top. Now the first time here I really couldn't see where the airport was, so we're going to fly in, look at the scenery. I'll tell you something nice, like I just wanted to fly past, but I couldn't find the airport. Okay, so we'll fly past, have a quick look at it. Looks pretty amazing, doesn't it? And the scary bit is, as everyone knows at St Barts, is that bit to the right there. We got to go just about vertical down onto the base of the runway there. So we'll miss that hill to the right, and then we'll duck back around, and then we'll give it another go. This TBM looks pretty nice inside too. Again, looking forward to seeing this thing in VR, and I'm sure that's going to tick some boxes off once we get to that. Flying in, got the runway teed up right in front of us there at the moment. Probably going a little bit quick. I haven't flown the TBM before. It's a little bit different, but I think it's one of those aircraft that I'll give a bit of a go. I think it's pretty nice. Flight models in Microsoft Flight Simulator, one of the things that I've certainly been looking at, don't seem too bad. There's a few issues, but then I have been killed a couple of times. One in a stall, which is in another video that I might show you in the near future. Stall. And see, just carrying too much power, too much speed in there. On the ground, on the brakes, hang on to it. Trying to be one of those crash videos that we see at St Barts. There's a few of those around. So that wasn't so good. And where we are, oh, we're still a long way back. So one more time, we'll give this another bash at St Barts. Certainly worth flying around here and having a look. There's a lot of things to discover in this flight simulator, so I'm going to be covering as much as I can certainly over the coming weeks and months, having a good look at this as well, and just seeing what it actually has to offer for us all. It does seem to have a lot. It's going very well. I think it needs a lot more on the tuning. Let's duck around that tree this time, see if we can't get down onto the piano keys quickly. And again, too much speed, just too much speed, and we've floated right past it again. Pretty terrible. But I challenge you to go and have a go, guys, if you haven't had a go at doing this. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Highly recommend you come out and give it a go. And there are quite a few of these, just basically landing ones, and there's another set that are with crosswinds and stuff as well. So let's go to Paro and give this a go. Now this is in a jet, so 737 gives you the basic guidelines on flying in speed wise. 150 on your approach, 140 as you're coming around the corner, and that hill looks a lot bigger when you're flying into the jet, as you'll see. You nearly have to fly over the edge of that to get lined up as you come in. So we'll give this a go. Ready to fly. The power up. Have a look at the speeds on it. Now there's still a lot of work to do on the aircraft here. There's a lot of buttons that are still not working, but they're pretty complete. I'm sure it's an ongoing job of bringing this whole simulator up. Look at that rainbow, guys. That's pretty amazing. Haven't seen a rainbow on X-Plane 11, got to tell you. So that's looking pretty nice. I'm looking forward to some of the flights that I've seen in real world, maybe around America or in Florida, that area. But flights where you get to fly between the clouds, it's something never really experienced well in X-Plane 11. And we've all seen the graphics that we've seen in the prelims to the release of MSFS 2020. I really think you're going to need a serious system to get what we saw in those pre-releases. What I see here is very nice. But it's not the outstanding super clarity that we saw with those releases as Microsoft was coming in marketing the whole package. I think there's some work to be done, and I really think if you can afford a 3080, 3090, you probably want one, and then a decent display or one of the very best VR units when that's available to really get the most out of this sim. So coming around the hill, trying to get lined up. As you can see, a little bit low there coming over the hill. You got to fly around it. Lining up. And this is, I've done this airport in X-Plane 11 as well. It's scary no matter what you do, but St Barts is probably the worst one out of all the ones we're doing today. Okay, hit my thumb button again, which changed my view. I've got to fix that. And then we'll belt that on the ground. couple of bounces. Not my best work, certainly. But look at that bloody rainbow out to the left there. Amazing. So let's get the brakes on, and I think we'll call it quits. So pretty interesting. Graphics, yes, amazing. Flight sim, as far as the flight models, seem pretty good. I've never flown a 737, so I don't know. But I've flown a light aircraft, and they don't seem too bad. Got a couple of videos in the works for you on that front end, and we'll talk about a little bit more as we go down the road, because you know I'm an avid X-Plane 11 aficionado, if you like, fanboy, if you like. So you know, that's where I draw my line and comparisons. It's certainly this certainly beats X-Plane 11 hands down when it comes to the graphic side of things. That is not in question. One thing that does get me is that little line in the middle for the menus. That annoys the crap out of me, gotta tell you. That something needs to go with it, because every time I use the views, I use the mouse to look around, and every time you do that it flashes around, which sort of breaks that immersion. So got a fair bit of work to make it better. So I hope you enjoyed that little quick introductory session in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Subscribe, like, and comment down the bottom. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see me fly in, and we'll see you soon. Bye.